This is a 2-pack of thermometer hydrometers. They measure relative humidity and temperature. I was sent these to review for free. The 2-pack costs you $10 if you want to buy it. They haven't paid me for my review, and my opinions remain my own. Alright, so these are labeled as compact, and they are quite small and compact. I'd estimate probably maybe 1.25 inches here. So no, 1.75 inches, so 1.76 inches. And thickness-wise, they're just a little over 1/2 inch, 0.52 inches. So they come with a little adhesive dot here. So you can stick the adhesive dot on this whole indent on the back and then stick them up someplace. They do appear to have an opening. You can pry them open to change the battery out. It says there's a magnet inside, so apparently they will stick to magnetic objects. So that's going to be useful for refrigerators. Let's see. Yep, there is a magnet inside, so they will stick to things like refrigerators. Now, by default, they are in Fahrenheit. I don't see any buttons to turn them on and off or change that. They have a little smiley baby face. And basically, if the humidity goes below 39% or above 71%, the baby face turns unhappy. So the comfort level is 40 to 70% humidity. Let's see about prying the case off and see what we can see inside. All right. So they are powered by a single CR2032 battery. I do not see any switches or buttons to change the temperature display, so it looks like it may be you're stuck with Fahrenheit, which most people would probably want in the United States. I believe this is the magnet right here. So it's a small rare earth magnet inside the case. So if you have a solid piece of steel, these guys attach to them quite well. You know, I don't have any worry about this thing coming off here. Now, when I tried it on my refrigerator and my washing machine, the attachment was not quite as sticky. So this is a nice thick piece of steel, whereas the washing machine and the refrigerator have relatively thin steel pieces. So here's my dryer, and it does stick, but it kind of wiggles down a little bit. If you barely touch it, it's kind of ready to go down. It's not going to fall on its own, but if you tap it, it kind of slides. So compare that to here, where if I tap this guy, it basically goes down as much as my finger pushes and then immediately stops. I've found if you have an exposed nail head that's not driven into the wood, they will stick to that and mostly not come down, although it's a little bit loose. So I'm using one inside my dehumidified tool room. I just have it stuck to this metal conduit right here. Now, the one I was handling has a higher temperature and humidity than the one that I did not handle. So I'm going to let them sit here for a little while to see if they equalize out. Alright, it took an hour, but these guys have consolidated down to within 1 percentage point of each other on the relative humidity and within a degree on the temperature. Alright, I've moved these guys out to my garage where it's colder, and I've placed them in a bag with silicon desiccant packs. So the relative humidity inside this bag is going to start dropping. Alright, so they've all lowered the relative humidity by quite a bit. This guy says 29%, this guy says 28%, and this guy says 26%. So I've taken them out of the bag. We're going to leave them in the garage overnight. We'll see what they say tomorrow morning. So one comment I have about these LCDs is the contrast on these guys appear to be a little higher than on this guy. This guy has bigger numbers, but the contrast between light and dark isn't quite as pronounced as these guys over here. Alright, these guys have been sitting out here undisturbed. And they're all 55.6, 55.6, 55.9, 61, 59, 60 on their readings. So they are very close and consistent within each other, within a percentage point or so on the relative humidity. They match up with other thermometer hydrometers. So these are a pretty good option if you're just looking to stick up on a wall someplace some hydrometers to keep track of the relative humidity and temperature.